The reason we kind of like each other, those people who like psychedelic therapy, because we felt like we all share the secret. And I think that secret just tells us that the world is not just one round Earth.
Yep.
There's more to it.
There's more to it. I think a lot of people have depression because I just don't think that they have access to who they are deep down, and that they have forgotten who they are. They've forgotten what life is about. Yeah, and like to come back to your question about what causes depression, I think it's separation. I think that's at the root. It's not remembering that connection, not seeing how everything ties together, how everything's related.
Content presented in Cheshire Corners is for educational and informational purposes only. Please consult a legal professional if you have any questions or concerns about the content of this disclaimer, this series, or the legal implications surrounding psychedelic substances in your jurisdiction.
My name is Rita Tsaluk, and I would like to invite you to trip with us through the looking glass. Do you think it maybe happened because you knew the secret?
Maybe.
You know that we all know the secret. The reason we kind of like each other, those people who like psychedelic therapy, because we felt like we all share the secret. And I think that secret just tells us that the world is not just one round Earth.
Yep.
There's more to it.
There's more to it.
It's a secret because
It's a secret.
most of the people don't know that.
It's a secret that people can remember.
Yeah, and it's also because it just feels like you go in a room and you know that this person knows, but there's more
This person
to
knows.
But this person,
Yeah.
depression that comes to the people who doing things wrong. Why do you think people have depression?
I think a lot of people have depression because I just don't think that they have access to who they are deep down, and that they have forgotten who they are. They've forgotten what life is about. You know, there's this term like original blueprint, like they've forgotten their original blueprint, why they came here to be, what their soul is, and they've lost touch to that. I think that's why people are depressed. I also think that society can make us feel like we can't be those things. And I think that's what I love about psychedelics, is that they help us to remember that original blueprint, our original soul's purpose. When we can, I know for me, the more I claim who I am and what I believe and how I feel, the less depressed I feel. Like the more empowered I feel, the more easier it is for me to want to take up space on the planet and exist. Yeah.
I'm listening to a lot of those explanations because I'm into it, and I'm really searching for it. And there is one standout from the scientific standpoint where one of the people I'm listening to, Federico Fagin, he's talking about consciousness, and he is a scientist that's interested in quantum mechanics and reality and the formula of reality. And he's just thinking that the one only feels happy when one trying to understand one. If scientists think that way, maybe we're getting closer.
Yeah, sometimes I think there are a lot of scientists that are actually more spiritual and mystical than they lead on to be.
Yeah, at least right now, scientists divided by two groups. The ones that believe in scientism and the ones that believe there's more to it.
Yeah, and they're searching for the more. I like understanding how things work. Sometimes I can nerd out a little bit, but I think if I was going to swing a particular way, it would be, I'll give you a percentage. I would say maybe like 60 to 65% woo, and the rest of me is pretty science-y. A little more on the woo, but I can swing over to the other side. I think it's the connection to the natural world. I think woo is, I don't think woo is like a real thing. I think we all have this connection to the natural world, to a sense of energy. Like, and energy is science, right? Like if you think about atoms and the kind of the way they move, right? but energy in the sense of like, we're interconnected. We're all connected. I really have a connection to animals. And on my way here, a coyote was running alongside my car, which was super magical. And we can choose to see it or not. And so, yeah, I would say what makes me more woo is that interconnection, the interconnectedness between all things, all beings, and what can't necessarily always be explained through a formula.
Meaning of life is to see that spiritual and classical part of the world merge together, and you are part of it.
I like that.
It just gives me a lot of meaning.
Yeah, I can see why.
And it came from religious perspective. That's a specific thing. It came from religious perspective. So we just talk about scientists, we would talk about woo, and we talked about religion. And it all comes together.
It all comes together. Yes. I don't think any of it's separate.
This is very, very cool time to live, and a secret that not everybody knows about it.
Yeah. And like, to come back to your question about what causes depression, I think it's separation. That's at the root. It's not remembering that connection, not seeing how everything ties together, how everything's related.
Yes.
And that includes ourselves.
Sometimes good therapist is somebody who just telling you the right words that you can listen and relate to.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a therapist. She's miles and miles away. And the last time I had depression, she asked me, why do you think this and this would happen? And I told her my belief. And she said, oh my God, that's a hard system of beliefs you built for yourself. That's very hard to follow. And when she said that, I was thinking, she's saying built to myself, for myself. That means I built that. It's not a reality. This is something I made for myself. And if that's what I did, maybe I should change it.
Yeah. I think there's truth to that. I think there's a level of, I think we learn from our environment, and we get these sort of belief systems that show up that we either learn from outside of us or we learn from watching and making a story about it. Ultimately, whether it came from outside of us or within us, it's our responsibility to work on changing them. Like, what I hear in that is like, you didn't necessarily build it, but you were maybe the one making it last, like kind of building it up than maybe where it started, right? There is a root of where those beliefs started. And without healing that root, you reinforce those beliefs. And we cling to them. Like, I'm guilty of clinging to thought patterns and beliefs that I hold. And when I can start noticing, like, oh no, like some of these beliefs came from somebody else, from what I experienced, or from what I believed about something I experienced, but I'm also choosing to operate in them. And so once I can start seeing that I'm choosing to operate in them, they're easier to change and easier to shift and not live in them anymore.
Yeah, there's a whole big thing that psychedelics do, right? They shut down default mode network for just a bit. Relax. Now we can show you this picture.
Yeah. Now we can show you how you're related to everything around you, and how it's not all about you and it's not all about them, but it's about all of us. It's about everyone. And I think that's what I love about mushrooms specifically, is they're so connected. They grow in groups, right? And that's how we're wired to be, is in community and in how we support each other and help each other. And I think as the default mode network shuts down, that's what we learn.
I think everything deserves to have set and setting and integration, even your breakfast.
Yeah.
Everything has to be done with a meaning.
And like a sense of ritual and intention.
Ceremony.
Everything is ceremony. Like, life is ceremony, right?
Life is a ceremony.
Yeah.
Recently, I'm saying 30 days ago, right? Trump administration government said that the faucet is going to be open. A little bit. Not much, but just a little bit. 3 companies getting breakthrough on the research. And with that, new opportunities will be coming. In Colorado, they had legislation that as soon as FDA will approve one of the drugs in for psychedelic therapy, they actually didn't say for psychedelic therapy, one of the drugs that's Schedule 1 right now. They're not going to have to wait to become Schedule 3. As soon as FDA will approve Schedule 1 drug, they be able to prescribe it. I don't know if you followed that.
I didn't hear about that.
Yes, that's on Colorado legislation level. We're all waiting for this shift.
Yeah.
But for now, we're keeping a secret. So I would like for all of our viewers, please share this secret on your social media. Please like, subscribe, leave comments. And we appreciate you coming here, McKenna. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please like and subscribe to Cheshire Corners. Tell me what you think in the comments. And as always, don't get psyched out.